Hello Facebook friends, my name is Darren Foster and this is my first video on reviewing a bourbon. I hope you guys enjoy this. I think I might do it with other bourbons. As some of you know, I have been collecting different bourbons over the last 3 years. I'm up to 50 now that I have purchased and have had. So I thought on my 50th bottle, let's make a review about it. So I hope you enjoy this. I've been trying to learn off different YouTube channels on how to possibly do this, and I guess the only way you can really do it is just do it on your own. So the bourbon that I've chosen for my first video, not only to celebrate my 50th bottle, but one that I've been hunting for quite a while. I was able to find it at one of our local liquor stores here in Seymour. And this is the Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch. It is comes from the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. Buffalo Trace has several bourbons that I enjoy. It is in a taller bottle, like the Eagle Rare that they distill there. I am a little bit of a history buff, so I've always been intrigued by this one. He's actually, if I remember correctly, a great nephew of our 12th president, Zachary Taylor, so that's kind of neat. He is one of the founding fathers of bourbon in Kentucky, so I've been pretty excited to try to find this bourbon. It is 50% by volume, so you're looking at 100 proof, a little bit stronger than what you will find with a standard Jim Beam white label or a Wild Turkey, something like that. So I did just get my Glencairn glasses in, so I'm going to look a little more official for the video, but these are specially designed glasses for whiskey or bourbon or scotch. Bourbon technically is a whiskey, but I refer to it as bourbon. And basically what you look for, as I've learned, in a bourbon is the color. A more yellowed color isn't aged as long. The longer it's aged, generally the darker it'll get. It pulls more of that char from the barrel. So this isn't quite copper, but it's not quite amber. One of the darker bourbons that I have had, that's one of my favorite, top 10, is the Knob Creek 9-year 120 single barrel. It is more of an amber color, but I was pretty surprised at the color of this. Beautiful in color. If you guys can see along the rim here, it does grip the glass. As far as the nose goes, I am not a sommelier. I would like to learn to become a sommelier, but the closest place I've found to do that is in Texas, and it's going to cost about $4 grand. So, vacation. So basically, from the few trips I've taken to Claremont, Kentucky, Jim Beam, the one thing they've said is, you want to focus on the oak. Obviously, these are all going to have a little bit of an oak to them because they char them in white oak barrels. But this has a very sweet nose to it. It doesn't have a lot of burn like you would expect from a 100 proof bourbon. The sweetness is some sort of fruit. Again, I'm not a sommelier, so I can't tell you if it's raisins or dates or whatever. I don't know. I just know it's sweet like a fruit. We'll try our first sip here in a sec. Get a nice rim. And a lot of times after you take your first sip, the nose will change because your palate starts to kind of send messages to the rest of your system saying, hey, my tongue picked this up, because again, I think there's 5 points on your tongue that taste bitterness and sweetness and sour. And so a lot of times the nose will change, and then your second sip will change. If it's a little heated, you can put a couple drops of water in there, and then that can kind of break open, I guess you call it the cell structure, and get some different flavors. So I don't put water in my bourbon, but we'll try our sip here. Very pleasantly sweet. Not a lot of burn. You get a little bit, through the nose. but very pleasant, very sweet. Little bit of smoke, not a lot, or char, I guess you could say. Nose did change just a little bit. Doesn't really sit on the tongue, which is nice. A lot of your 100 proofs, you can kind of still feel that burn, you know, that burn. Not on this one. I like it. I almost identified that fruit. Very good. I tell you what. Again, nice color, nice taste, nice grip on the glass. I was able to find this for about $43. Not a bad price at all for a premium bourbon. I've spent $20 or $30 more, and it was just as good, you know, to be honest with you. So yeah, pleasantly surprised. Again, this is the Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch from Buffalo Trace Distilleries out of Frankfort, Kentucky. A true Kentucky bourbon. If you're a bourbon person, I recommend trying it. If you're getting into bourbons, this may be a little bit more sophisticated. It's something you got to build up to, I guess, from all the other videos I've watched. But again, I'm really happy with this. It's totally worth every penny. Not much more than a nice bottle of wine, you know. So again, highly recommend it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I'll try to make some more videos on some other bourbons. I'll have to go back to some of my go-to bourbons, because the rest of the rare ones I'm trying to find, I think I'm going to have to go to the distillery itself to find. So thank you for your time. I hope you watched all the video. If you didn't, I understand it may be a little boring if you're not into bourbon. But thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. And if I get enough likes, maybe I'll post another one. I don't know. Thank you.